Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by Superintendent Hime and some very special guests today.
It's exciting. We have our librarians from our high school with us today, and they're going to talk about some things that are going on in their libraries and some changes. So we'll let them start, and we'll start with Eisenhower. Let her introduce herself, and she can talk a little bit about our library and then just kind of pass it around, and then we'll have some questions.
Great. My name is Ashley Romero. I am the Library Media Specialist at Eisenhower High School. This is my second year at Eisenhower High School as the Library Media Specialist. Before that, I taught English language art, at MacArthur High School for 11 years. And I am having the time of my life in my library. It's my dream job. We have experienced a lot of changes this year, and I feel like our library program is just continuing to grow and increase. Our circulation numbers are going up, and it's been a really great year so far.
Awesome.
I'm Laura Manning. I'm the Library Media Specialist at MacArthur High School. This is my 18th year as the Library Media Specialist, but my 25th in education. So prior to this, I taught middle school reading, English, and 1 year of history. That was fun.
I'm a history teacher. Come on now.
Our library has changed drastically in the last 18 years. When I started, we had a computer lab that kids could use, and so it's been really fun riding the wave of technology, and just reading has really made a comeback, and it's the best job in the school.
And I'm Amanda Binky, and I'm at Lawton High School. This is my 28th year in education, 5th year in the library, previously an English teacher. Fun fact is Ashley was my student years ago from MacArthur, and then Lori's been my
Isn't that always fun when you're like, just call me by my first name?
When you start getting grandkids, it's not as fun.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
And then Lori mentored me for the library job, and I ditto what they say for being. It's got to be the best job in the school and the district. It's such a fun job. So many things that are potentials within the job of being a librarian, a library media specialist. So in our library, when I started, I got the opportunity to have my job because you brought Mo over here to library, be the librarian at the LRC. So I was grateful for that opportunity. And we've had, again, same as these ladies, increased circulation, so many changes in our library that I think just in the last 5 years of me being there, it's been tremendous growth.
And we cannot forget Miss Mo, who is actively working. She also does concurrent, but she is our library.
Yes.
And that's the one thing you added was the media specialist to the library part. Talk about how that has just changed for you. And Lori, it's fun to see how it's kind of stair-stepped with the ladies here, but what that looks like instead of just the traditional library that you are used to, what our families would be.
What I would say, what people think this job is totally different than what it really is. Our job, we're lucky we have help with technology now because we didn't for a while. But every time I teach a lesson, I'm using technology. Every time a class comes in, they're using some form of technology. And so we've really, in fact, our degrees are in instructional media. And so it's not sitting down reading a book. I don't think any of us ever have time to do that at work. We have to do that outside of work. But it's a lot of new, we're branching out and doing some AI things this year. It's been really, and we collaborate with everyone now, not just language arts teachers, and it's just exploded.
So, and we'll keep on, but we can start with Amanda this time. But one thing I always get asked, so I was going to ask this question, and we could talk to y'all forever because libraries have changed. We think of a librarian as a public library lady that you go up there, you hand them the book, they check out your book, and that's not what these ladies do. They teach classes, they instruct, they work with teachers. But one thing that everybody asks me everywhere we go now, because we have this new law this year, and we all have different policies at different schools, even in Comanche County, everybody handles it different. But how has the cell phone policy changed your library? And we can start with you, Ms. Binky.
I think the traffic to the library has, I notice it so much more this year. We were looking at numbers like the data before coming over, and the check-ins to our library since the first day of school is over 2,500 students. So I used we have a digital check-in. These are just documented check-ins. and then our securely pass system that we use at the high school to send kids on hall passes. And so just either coming to come check out a book or to come for study hall, or it's a day they don't have a camera in class and so they hang out with us in the library. Just our space in general and the way that it's used, over 2,500 check-ins to Lawton High Library since day one.
Any
And
idea
so,
what that was last year at this time?
well, we didn't have the digital check-in
okay.
at the time, so I can't compare. But
Still.
I know that it's drastically
You can feel the
increased.
difference.
Yes, I can feel the difference, and just the sheer number of books being checked out. That's at least 20% over what it was last year at
Awesome.
this time, and the number of the kids asking for specific books.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
my requests sheet is, I've already gone onto the second or third page now of what the kids are asking me to get in the library, and there wasn't as much interest like that in the past.
Awesome.
So it's I think one of my fears of being an English teacher and then becoming a librarian was that I wouldn't get to know the kids as much. I wouldn't have those, close personal relationships. But I can walk down the hallway and literally I recognize every face. So they all come to the library for different purposes, throughout the week, and we get to know all of the kids in the building.
Awesome.
And that has been.
I can just
think-
tell that you
Yeah.
like the change.
I love it. Yeah, it's been great.
So Ashley, tell me about Eisenhower. What's the change been like?
It has been astronomical. We, like Amanda said, we were pulling all of our statistics before coming over here, and I have had a really great year with my circulation statistics. We just surpassed 2,000 book checkouts this morning, which is a 200% increase from this time last year. So the kids, they want to read. They want to come in, and on the heels of what Amanda said about the book request form, we are so fortunate to work for a district who provides us with funding for the books that we put into our library, and you guys allow us, and the state allows us the freedom to choose the books that we put into our library. And I think the big reason for the increase in circulation is that we buy the books the kids want to read, and allowing them the opportunity to make requests, us have the funding to purchase them, and then put them onto our shelves in our collection has made a huge
And just so everyone knows, I'm pretty sure as a superintendent, not a library media specialist, I like to hire people to be experts around me and not think I'm the expert. There is a list of books that are approved. It's
Yes.
not, you guys aren't
Right,
just,
right, right.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
good.
sir.
I
Yes,
just,
there's a
you
lot
know,
of
we
science
just
behind
live in
it.
this,
Yes,
we
sure,
live in
sure.
this time where
Sure.
people are want to censor things, but
Sure.
there is an approved list of books
Right.
you're buying books off of. We're not just going out and just want to make sure that's, but
Right.
that sounds 200% amazing.
200%, yes, sir.
Well, MacArthur, how's it going?
We're doing great. We've checked out about 1,000 more books this year than we had last year at this time. I think we're only at just like maybe 102% increase. I had my kids figure that out for me this morning, my interns.
So you were history and English, but not
Yeah,
math.
not math. I'll try, but I'm not very good at it. They've talked about students coming in and circulation, but one thing that I've noticed this year is we always have had craft stuff out. We've always had color sheets out, and you don't think about high school kids coloring, but they need kind of that de-stress time sometimes, and they need to be doing things with their hands. And so our kids that are coming in on their own, this year there has been such an increase in playing games. Like Uno is like the hot
Yes.
ticket this year. There are so many Uno games going on at lunch, and like during second hour flex, if they're not doing something with the class, they come in, and it is so nice to see kids socializing with each other and their face not in a cell phone. It's just been great. I feel like they've made more friends this year. I've had lots of kids say, I thought this was going to be awful, and it's been great. So it's really nice to see how even just offering those passive programs like games and crafts and coloring, that usage of that has really increased.
You know, and one thing just to confirm, when we were having this conversation before, when we worked as a district leadership and we worked with our STAC committee, which is our superintendent's teacher advisory, we visited with them and came up with our policy. You know, the one thing we talked about was protecting our teachers and making it simple, but also making the policy simple. And sometimes there's confusion of what the punishment is. The policy requires if the phone's in the building, it's locked in a bag. So if it's caught out of the bag, you violated the policy. It's not about the usage. The usage would be another discipline matter if they're caught using it. We're not even concerning ourselves at most buildings with that right now. So just to clear that up. So clear that. Next question. So, and this is, I have no idea the answer. So, okay. So I'm a big reader. I've read my whole life. When I was a kid, I read every book in the library, whatever. I've always been a reader. You know, and I'm that guy that always had to have it in my hand. I thought no, I'm a Kindle guy now. Read it on my iPad. What about digital books? Do we check out digital books?
We have them.
They can't use their phones now to
I
read
know,
with
but
school.
our kids like a book in their hand.
That's
and
awesome.
It's funny
I
that
do.
they'll say
You
that.
say it all the time. You're like, oh, don't give me a hardback. And I'm like,
and-
give me a copy. I need to
And I'm amazed that I'm that
Yeah.
way. You know, I'm a member of Amazon Kindle. You know, I I go on there and get the free books all the time and try to get, you know, and I read, you know, all the Mitch Rapp series and the Jack Reacher and then different books I read. So
I can talk about Sora though. Like
Okay.
I had an English teacher, a history teacher, come in a couple of weeks ago, and or her students, they were given an assignment to have an actual book. And nonfiction books, they're very costly and they very difficult to keep current. And so I didn't have one on the topic that she was looking for. So we provide access to ebooks and audiobooks through Sora. The kids can access that in Clever.
now what is Sora?
It's our digital and
Okay.
ebook source that we buy from Lawton Public Schools. So we have certain titles that Lawton Public Schools purchases, but then we can also link the students to the OK Virtual Library, which is through the Lawton Public Library.
Okay.
And so in Lawton Public Library,
I might need that. I might need to get me a library card.
yes, yes.
And I said, that's on your web pages too, right? It's all
Yes,
linked.
it is. It's
Yes.
all linked on our web pages. Lawton Public Library just had their big, get a library card promotion.
Okay.
So, and the kids come in, we can link them to the OK Virtual Library, and we were able to find this student that, in particular, that I was talking about, a book that she needed for her class that I wasn't able to provide. You know, it's not feasible to provide a book that one student might need over, the course of 10 years.
And if there's no other interest in the book,
Right.
that's
Yes,
that's
yeah.
something you guys do that stuff after hours
Yes.
when you're trying to decide what book. I was a coach for years, and some of you know how that is. But you're thinking about what you're going to do after. You guys are thinking what books you're going to order because. Although I like to say we give great budgets and we try to give what our people need, and I think I really pride myself on that.
Yes.
You guys could still use 10 times more if I'd give it to you.
Yes.
I didn't see it no.
We take it. We wouldn't say no.
I mean, you always want more books. I mean,
Right.
and that's the librarians I want, is those that want more books. So it's difficult because what you don't want is a $50 book sitting there and no one checking it out,
Right.
which this has got to be. I can just tell kids checking out books is exciting our librarians because, and I'm assuming this is the same thing in our middle schools. Have y'all talked to the middle school? Oh, good. That's great to hear. But,
I mean, it's just, and when we talk about that environment and we talk about the kids enjoying the library in different ways, we spoke of it before the podcast, but your upgrades and your renovations and
Yes.
what you guys are doing, it looks completely different in the last 3 or 4 years. What can the students look forward to as we continue developing what it looks like in the library?
At Lawton High, I had very old, heavy wooden round tables that were amazing. They were very durable, but no.
like 50 or 60 years durable?
Yes, yes. And so last year with the grants that we received, I was able to get some new collaboration tables that have casters. We can move them around the library, put them in different configurations. We don't have separate classrooms at Lawton High in our library. So when we have instructional time, we're right there in the middle of the library. So in order to move these tables around, that was a big purchase for us. In addition to soft seating, some area rugs, the kids love our papasan chairs. They come in and sit in these big, beanbag type chairs. They just love all the space those kinds of things that the grant was able to provide. And so just providing more of those kinds of things, hopefully with more grants this year.
Awesome.
So we love that the Lawton Foundation grant is available to
Oh,
us
they're
right
so
now.
great.
And all of us I know have grants in the works with them in
Awesome.
addition to other grants. And so we
Big shout out to them. They had breakfast
Yes.
this
That's
All
week.
right, we'll talk about that
Yeah,
in just a
you'll get
minute.
it.
Okay.
Well, last year with a grant, we were able to also provide just sturdier collaborative tables for the kids. What we had before for them to play games at or just to sit and relax was not great, but what we have now is great. We have a lot of flexible seating options, and then we work on just aesthetics, and people don't really think about that sometimes. We want these to look more like Learning Commons, a little bit more like a college library, and so to soften the space, we get things like plants, rugs, lamps, and they are comfortable in there. The kids, they love it. They kick their feet up, they sit everywhere, they're all over the place, and but in the best way.
Yes, yes.
This year, we're going to add to our flexible seating, hopefully, and then we're going to upgrade all of our games. When they get used all the time, those pieces go missing. Some kids like to take the last puzzle piece of a puzzle, so we're going to get
Not
some
a
new
high school
yes,
kid,
some
not
items.
teenagers.
And just some collaborative items. We do a lot of group work in the library. We have space for that, and so just organizers for collaborative things, anything the kids can use to help with their coursework.
Ashley?
I was really mindful of trying to be really inclusive and hospitable, and I wanted it to feel really welcoming. So I, as a new librarian, came in and did an overhaul with all the furniture. I got every single chair in my library is brand new, lots of flexible seating. I wanted them to be comfortable. I wanted it to be a hub, because coming in as the new person and seeing how they have created spaces that were welcoming and kind of the central social zone of their schools, I really kind of wanted that for Eisenhower High School as well. So we did a lot of flexible seating, comfortable chairs, and my goal for this next year is incorporating a lot more display ideas for my fine arts showcases. So I do a lot of collaborating with my students and my art teachers to do Fine Arts Fridays, and so I like with the flexible seating and more craft and gaming options, and I've asked for art display panels and some really cool floor options, so that way the things that our kids are doing when they're not in our library, or even that they're creating when they're in our library, like Lego pieces or paintings, things like that, we can put them on display for everybody to see what they're working on that they might not necessarily want to share on their own time.
Awesome. And you know, the one thing you could talk about, just to kind of, when I'm sitting here listening, we've got more students in the library, but in the past when you'd go by and look, most of the students in there were
On their phone.
and now they're not doing that.
no.
They're actually in there doing the things, the purpose of the library. And the other thing I like listening to you guys talk, because it's one thing, and Lynn's heard me say this, you know, I'm 60 plus.
Oh, I thought you were going to
So
say
I talk to kids all the time, and it's like what I see as life ready, or I see as an opportunity, they may see as a roadblock.
Right.
Right.
But what you guys have done is try to incorporate your libraries more about what the students, they don't want their grandma's library.
No.
They don't want the library I see as a library. And sometimes we forget that good school's not the school we went to. It might have been good for us. It's not even close to what students need today. And so I appreciate you guys reaching out and trying to collaborate and see what's best. And it's really just exciting to see people excited about what they do. And that makes, you know, that's what makes my job so great. I tell everybody I got the best job in the world because I got great people. Another example of it today. I got great people. You guys are doing a great job, and we really appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
And we really
Thank you
could
for
talk to
having
them
us.
forever.
Oh, we could talk to
you
I
guys
could,
might not
'cause, you know,
stay tuned, but we would talk.
Listen, I'm a reader. I like to read books, and I'm big. And you know, just the last pub, and you guys might, but I see Miss Manning has started a podcast, kind of. Is she calling it a podcast? I really liked it.
Yes.
She's reviewing books, but
Yes.
Very early stages.
But it is, and if you ever want to, I'm sure you could come over here and do it in the podcast studio.
That's right.
Gerard, I was thinking, now you got to remember, you might have to bring your own memory card because sometimes he only has one.
That's it.
And each of our libraries has an Instagram. And
Yes.
we
Oh,
talk
awesome.
Yes, please follow
When we
us.
talk about
Yes.
all of the different things that we have in our
Yes.
libraries and activities, and we all would love more followers.
That's
And it's
it.
more than books.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, a lot of
Much
times the
more.
library is the center. The librarian's the one helping with kids come ask questions about scholarships
Yes, they
and
do.
colleges,
Yes.
and should I take
Yeah.
the PSAT? Should I take the ASAT? What college class? Probably now you're starting to get a lot into now that we're really moving strong to academies and pathways. You guys, they want to know which one. You know, which one? So, well, you know, this is not. You're not locking yourself. You know, you guys are all in on that, and we appreciate you for being all inclusive in everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. And
Yes.
just hang tight. We have a few more things to tell our families. First, we want to thank everybody that came out to the foundation breakfast.
Yes, it was packed. It was awesome.
And then September 30th, for our teachers that are watching, that's the deadline for your grant. Be sure to submit because, like these wonderful ladies, you could reap the rewards from the foundation, and we're thankful for all they do for us and our community members that supported that event. The other part is something important that we are looking for, and that's our community resource eligibility form.
Yes.
We've sent several text messages and emails out to our families who may not have completed it completely or completed it at all. Tell them why that's important for us.
The easiest way to put it, and we talk to, you know, and our teachers even need to understand it, each one of those forms completed that qualifies, and about 75% of our district qualifies, is worth $1,500 to that district. And that's, but just easy math, we have 1,000 teachers in the district. If each teacher encouraged one student, 1,000 times 1,500 is 1.5 million. You know, if they got two, now we're at 3 million. Now all of a sudden we're paying for our Christmas bonuses and we're paying for our retention stipends, and it's just really important. That's
And
where we
the
get our
upgrades
money.
to the libraries
Upgrades
and
to
the
the library,
schools, the books.
the schools, the books, and that's where we get our money. So it's important that everybody gets them back. And last year we kind of struggled a little bit with it because everybody eats free now, which is awesome. But so it's hard to sometimes.
But that's how
why
we got
I fill
to
that
eat
form
for,
out.
Right, but that's how we were able to eat free.
Because we had collected so many the year
Correct.
before. Yes.
And
So-
we need those forms, you guys. So you either have a text message that you can click on, fill it out electronically, or you will be getting paper copies, which we all know we love paper copies.
Yes,
Right?
but we also you understand too as parents, student information systems, state, all that communication, it's never the best. So sometimes if you get the form again, please just fill it out again and send it back. It's not that we're saying you didn't. In some of those forms, just again, we've got 13,500 plus students, depending on what day it is, and so there's going to be a few of them. People will probably get them twice. So just please work with us and turn them back in.
And then our last carrot on the stick is we want to let our families know that our next big break is spa break. So lots of
Thursday
things.
night.
Thursday night is a big event for our band and our choir. Tell them what's happening.
Yeah, all the band and choir will be at the game, the football game, and they will sing together and perform together. And so the field is going to be covered with Lawton kids. And you know, and
our
I don't know
national anthem.
for the national anthem. And I don't know if everybody, every time I have students on here and we ask about what they'd like to see more of, the kids want more Lawton LPS activities. They don't want one high school. Never as a kid said, we wish we were all in one. No, they like their rivalries. They just wish there was more things besides the rivalries they got to do together because they have friends. That's a lot of reasons some of them really love this because they get to be friends with each other at the LRC.
That's it. And our orchestra, I forgot to add
Yes.
them. So band, choir, and orchestra. It's
Wow.
going to be a great national anthem that day.
Yes.
So be sure to look out for that or come to the game. And then a reminder, just again, we still have our all sports passes that you can get at the schools. That'll get you into the complex games. And then give them our website and our email.
If you got any questions or comments, info at lawtonps.org, and then our website is lawtonps.org. So send us comments or info, and man, it's
It's already the end of
today's the
September next week. Yeah.
23rd. It's almost October. That's
Well,
boot.
you can tell because the sun is
You
setting.
know, I
and
loved
it's
it when
coming
it
up
moved
later.
fast 20 or 30 years ago. I'm trying to slow it down now.
That's it. Thank you, ladies,
Thank
for
you,
coming.
guys.
We always enjoy talking with you. Remember to like and subscribe to all of our social media pages. You'll find great information and stay up to date with things going on at your child's school. Until next time, Mr. Hime and ladies, let's
Yes.
bid them farewell. Be well, stay safe, and make positive impacts. Have a great week.